How's it going, everyone? Want to give you guys a big heads up on something major coming to PlayStation Plus, and something that I would say is worthwhile enough for you to even sign up to PlayStation Plus Extra. It is available now, and we will talk all about it. On top of that, want to give you guys a heads up on how you can get some free PSN Stuff, free avatars with a promotional code at the end of this video. But right off the top, if you are a PlayStation Plus Extra subscriber, this is actually a great addition. Last of Us Part 1 is now entirely available on PlayStation Plus Extra. How about that? Plus Extra actually getting a fairly good addition, especially after the removal of Horizon Forbidden West. I feel like this is a game that has been warranted in Plus Extra for a while. You guys have heard me be incredibly critical towards Plus Extra, and I think in every instance, rightfully so, because the service, to be perfectly honest, has been kind of trash as far as it getting a price increase and the game lineup actually getting weaker over time because the games being removed from the service have outweighed the games being added to the service. But Last of Us Part 1 celebrating Last of Us Day, that is a very notable addition. Now, we are 2 years removed from the release of Last of Us Part 1, and going back to 2022, there was definitely a lot of criticism with Last of Us Part 1 and it being $70. Remember that Last of Us was a game that was on the PlayStation 3, then it got remastered on the PlayStation 4, and then you got a re-release on the PlayStation 5. There was no free upgrade with Last of Us Part 1. You had to pay the $70, so Last of Us Part 1 was way more of an insane upgraded release, so to speak, than you could say Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster is. And on top of that, Last of Us Part 1 did not have the multiplayer component in it as well. But if I look back at 2022, why is it that Horizon Zero Dawn in 2024 seemingly is getting more heat as a remaster than Last of Us Part 1 is in 2022? Last of Us Part 1 was an upgraded release of a $70 game, and I would say the visual improvements with Last of Us Part 1 kind of comparable to what you're seeing out of Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. So why is it that HZD is getting so much more heat? But it's because of something I've been bringing up quite a lot, and that's because of optics. In 2022, PlayStation actually had a killer year with God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7 all coming out in the same year. Last of Us Part 1 wasn't in this isolated year where there was no major first-party output from Sony, and Horizon Zero Dawn just comes across as such a lazy re-release to make up for the fact you got nothing big coming out. That's the difference with Last of Us Part 1. Now, don't get it wrong, back in 2022, there was heat with Last of Us Part 1, but let's just say Last of Us Part 1 never happened in 2022, and they tried to do this in 2024 and released it as a $70 title, people would have been all over it this year. But the fact is, back in 2022, PlayStation was actually putting out quality first-party titles. Not to go on a tangent, but Last of Us Part 1 will also be PS5 Pro Enhanced, and there's actually a labeling on the PlayStation Store, which is actually great to see. Now we're gonna get games have the PS5 Pro Enhanced label attached to it. Has this been added across the board? Nah, I just looked up Stellar Blade, and that does not have a Enhanced on PS5 Pro, at least on the website, it doesn't. But yeah, going back to 2022, $70 was still insane. And even when it has been going on sale, like Last of Us 1 for whatever reason does not go below like $40, and you're telling me $40 for a game that came out in 2013, and this is coming from somebody that I believe Last of Us 1 is legitimately one of the greatest video games ever created. I've completed this game like an absurd amount of times. PlayStation 3, I still remember back then, June of 2013, having a 720p TV and playing through the entirety of Last of Us 1 and thinking it was one of the greatest experiences ever. I picked up Last of Us Remastered day one, played through Last of Us Part 1, played through it on PC as well. Just absolutely loved the game, and obviously everything went to hell with Last of Us Part 2. From my vantage point, people seem to disagree, agree. I imagine the majority of you guys at this point have played Last of Us 1, but if you, for whatever reason, you haven't, it's a phenomenal game, and it's one of those games that if you have a friend, a significant other, whatever the case may be, and they're not super into video games, it's a game that they can just watch you play through and still be like captivated by the story. They don't have to get super into gameplay, they don't have to play the game, but just watching Last of Us 1 and the narrative unfold. Man, it is so well executed, and I thought the ending was just chef's kiss. It's an ending executed well. it's just such a phenomenal game, and now you don't have to pay $70, you don't have to pay $40 if you're a Plus Extra subscriber. You can just get it, and it's a great addition, so definitely do go play through that. And Last of Us Day did just happen yesterday. They announced, or they dropped a trailer for Last of Us Season 2, which, look, I have a lot of friends that were super into Last of Us Season 1. They don't know what's coming up in Season 2, but I think it's going to, I don't know, people are gonna have their opinions. Let's just put it that way with Last of Us Part 2. I'll also say the actress that plays Ellie, I do think it's a little bit jarring that she looks exactly the same. I get it, not the biggest deal in the world to a lot of people, but one of the biggest themes of Last of Us Part 2 I feel like is growth. And Last of Us Part 2 takes place a significant time after Last of Us Part 1, and Ellie just looking the same, I feel like it's kind of jarring. Whatever, probably not a big deal to a lot of people, but I thought I would point that out. Moving on from that, I also do want to note that there are some free Last of Us Part 1 avatars for PSN. The code for in America is EENL-3K57-EE8R. You'll get a code for Joel, Ellie, and unfortunately, they are ruining the avatars with the PlayStation Plus logo. This has happened before with these codes being given out, and you just have these PlayStation Plus logos ruining these avatars. Like, come on, do you have to promote PlayStation Plus that hard? Just give us the Joel and Ellie avatar. You don't need the PS Plus logo. I don't understand what the point of that is. Obviously to promote PS Plus, and I guess if they see people using an avatar like this and the Plus logo in the background, I don't know, maybe like a psychological tool to get people to sign up to PlayStation Plus. But actually a good addition to PlayStation Plus Extra that offers a lot of value to the service. It is a game that at the end of the day came out in 2013. People will have their opinions on whether or not it actually adds value, and maybe that is more of an indication of it being overpriced from the get-go, and it absolutely was. Like, the $70 for Last of Us Part 1 initially was just insane, but yeah, different times. And hopefully at some point, you know, they'll throw back Horizon Zero Dawn in PlayStation Plus Extra as well, and it'll be like a Horizon Zero Dawn remastered getting added, and Horizon Forbidden West hopefully will get added at some point. But, you know, Sony being Sony, I wouldn't even be surprised if 6 months from now Last of Us Part 1 gets pulled from PS Plus. I would not be surprised whatsoever, actually, especially if you're talking about pulling this game like a month before Last of Us Season 2 starts, because there's gonna be more interest. Just like with the Witcher television series, Witcher saw a jolt in the game sales. There's just going to be people in the Last of Us mood, and they're going to be like, let me go play Last of Us Part 1, and then all of a sudden it's not available in Plus Extra. So they didn't actually say how long of a duration the game is going to be available for in the service, but again, I would say in 6 months, there's a good chance that the game is getting pulled. But that's going to do it for me. One of my favorite games of all time has just gotten added to PS Plus. If you've never played it, it's definitely got to be like 2 of you at most. Go ahead and play it. It was definitely not worth $70 for this re-release, but as a part of your subscription service, I think it's fine, and the game is phenomenal and not super lengthy either. Go ahead and give it a playthrough, and it does look better than Last of Us Remaster. Obviously, it does. It's just not $70 better. But yeah, you can also check out some free avatars, so go jump on that as well. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.